Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I hope we had a great weekend and we are ready to smash some goals this week. Okay. So, from everyone at Fidelity, welcome to today's session. Once again, another pleasure for me to be here to connect with you, for us to exchange and just learn on, a lot of things. Okay. So, I am Jane and I'm joining you from Cameroon, all right? I'm a digital trainer with Impact Her, and we are working in collaboration with the Google Digital Skills for Africa program, okay? We are working in partnership with Google to bring all this information to you so that you can just implement the best practices for your businesses. And as always, I'm not here alone. I have some great team members, amazing people, just making sure that today's session is a great one. It runs smoothly and it's productive. Okay. So in the chat box, you'll be seeing Judith or Johanna right there attending to all your concerns and everything that you may need. Okay. And equally at the broadcasting desk, we have Johanna, okay, equally making sure that this session runs smoothly. So they are the team behind the camera, just making sure that we have an amazing session today, okay? So I hope we are ready. I hope we have our notebooks and pens and we are set to make the most of what we can learn today. All right. So today's topic is implement Google Workspace across your business. Implement Google Workspace across your business. As your business grows, right? As you are constantly, growing and taking your business to the next level, you might. Oh, hi, Tosh. Thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure to have you. Welcome to the session. Can I see more people? Hey, and I guess you're joining us from Lagos, right? From your name, I'm assuming. I hope I'm right. Are there more people joining us? Please kindly show up in the chat box. I want to see you. I want to read from you. Okay. Tell me what the weather in Nigeria is. What's the atmosphere there today? Oh, and we equally have Chika, okay? Chika is equally there to attend to you. Make sure that any concerns or questions you have are addressed, okay? So Chika is equally there. In any case, as you're joining in, please kindly introduce yourself in the chat box and let me know where you are joining us from. I would really, really love to read from you. All right. Okay, so like I was saying, we are going to be talking about how you can implement Google Workspace across your business. I am very sure that we have made use of some Google products for whatever reason, even if it's just for personal reasons, okay? So we're going to be looking at how you can do same for your business. Uh okay, so please, I'm waiting for you to join in. Please join in, okay? So that we can have a great time today. We can learn and just discuss. I also want to know what you already know about today's topic, okay? So as I'm sitting here, it's not like I know everything. There might be one or two things I might equally be learning from you today, okay? So, like I was saying, maybe you've established your business and your business has grown, and you've realized that a lot of your customers are probably based in Abuja. For example, if you're in Lagos, you realize that a lot of people have been ordering for your products or requesting your services, and your demographics based on your online presence or whatever tools you're using to monitor your clients' activity. You might realize that a lot of your clients are from Abuja, and you are based in Lagos. So you maybe feel a need to set up a place in Abuja, right, to cater to all the demands that you have from your clients over there. So while you set up a branch of your business or a branch of your company in Abuja, how do you ensure communication flow from the branch in Lagos and from the branch in Abuja? What tools can you make use of? So basically that's what we're going to be discussing today, okay? So making sure that communication flows easily among your team members, okay? All right. So Let's move on, okay? So I would like to ask you, what tools do you currently use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Do you have employees? Do you have partners? How do you ensure that you could communicate and collaborate effectively so that work is done on time, tasks are completed? Are there any tools you're currently implementing already? I would like to know how that is working for you. Kindly drop it in the chat box. I would like to read from you. But in any case, I'm going to be moving forward, okay? In case I don't see your response right away, Chika is right there. All right. And I'm still going to come back to your contributions and read and answer your questions, okay? So anyway, I would like to know how you currently communicate and collaborate. What tools do you use to communicate and collaborate within your business? Kindly drop in your answers or your contributions to that, okay? So, um, I'm sorry I went a little bit too fast. Okay, so in order for us to break down today's topic, we are going to take a look at the agenda. All right, the agenda is divided into three main subtopics, as I would call them. So the first thing we are going to look at is discover Google Workplace. What is Google Workplace? What is it all about? And we will move on to look at boost how you can boost your communication across your business. And the last thing that we will discuss is how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration. Okay, so first things first, we want to discover what Google Workspace is all about. And then we will move on to see how you can boost communication across your business. And then we will round up the session by discussing how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration. All right, so these are the three things that we're going to be looking at throughout this session. And like I had already said, I would like to know the tools that you're currently using to communicate and collaborate within your business. Kindly let me know, drop them in the chat box, okay, so that I can come back to them and read from you. So, as we earlier saw in the agenda, the first thing that we are going to look at is discover Google Workspace. What is Google Workspace all about? I'm curious. I'm going to ask you another question, okay? Do you currently use Google Workspace? And if so, how? Are you currently making use of Google Workspace? And if you already are, I would like to know how you're going about it. How is that working out for you? And if in case the term Google Workspace is new to you, just know that you've probably heard about it, but maybe as G Suite, okay? But Google Workspace is like an enhanced version or, advanced, improved. It's an improved version of G Suite, okay? So let me know if you're currently using Google Workspace, and if you are, how are you going about it? How is this working out for you? Please drop your contributions in the chat box. I would like to read from you. Okay, so anyway, as you're doing all that, like I said, Chika is right there. She's just going to be attending to all your concerns, and I'll equally come back to all of them, okay? So let's take a quick look at what Google Workspace is. What is Google Workspace? Okay, so Google Workspace, like I had previously said, was formerly known as G Suite. Okay, so it's basically a collection of, because we know Google and its programs work on cloud. Okay, so G Suite basically is a collection of cloud computing, productivity, and collaboration tools. Okay, software as well, and products which have all been developed by Google, and they are equally being marketed by Google. Okay, so this has to do with software, this has to do with products, cloud computing, all of this which has been developed by Google, and they are the same people marketing these products. So Google Workspace basically has everything you need to ensure that work is moving on smoothly among you and your team members. All right, and equally ensure safety, because if it's working on cloud, it's important to keep your documents and information safe. So Google equally assures you of security, okay, in all these products that have been developed as you use them for your business. So that is basically what Google Workspace is all about. It's a collection of cloud computing, productivity, collaboration tools, software and products as well, which have all been developed and marketed by Google. Okay, So let's take a look at the tools that are available for you as you implement Google Workspace in your business. Are some of these symbols or logos familiar to you? Are there any symbols here that you already know of, which you're already using? Some are really prominent for a lot of people. Kindly let me know, please. I could go on to explain it, but I know that you know, all right? I don't think I'm teaching people who have no idea at all. So please take a quick look at some of these. Hello, Tosh, are you there? If you're there, sorry, I have to call you up, okay? I if anybody is there, I would like to know, do you recognize any of the symbols which are displayed on the screen? These are tools that have been made available by Google for to help you communicate and collaborate as you carry out your business transactions. Do we recognize any symbols? If we do, kindly drop it in the chat box, okay? But for starters, I know if we see this, we know it has to do with a mail, right? Yep. So are there other ones that we recognize? We have Gmail there. We have Drive, Meet. Are there any ones that we recognize or that we're already using? You've probably seen this on your laptop or on your phone, but in any case, please, I want to read from you, okay? Please drop your contributions, okay? I don't believe there's anybody here who has no idea, except you are still living in, I don't know, in the 20th century, if I can say it that way. But if you're in this current age, I believe some of these symbols should be familiar to you, okay? So anyway, we are going to be looking at all these tools, okay, and how you can use them. So we have right there, we have Gmail, we have Calendar, we have Google Drive, we have Meet, okay. We equally have other symbols there. I can see Google Sheets, Google Docs, Google Slides as well. We have Keep as well, okay. We have Currents, we have Chats, we have Jamboard. There's a lot Google has come up with to facilitate working, across your team. Okay, we're going to be breaking this down as we move on in the session. All right. So let's take a look at the core functionality of Google Workspace. What are some of the functions of Google Workspace? How can you use this to make sure that your business is running smoothly, communication is flowing easily from one team to another or from one branch of your business to the other? Okay, so with Google Workspace, one of the core functionalities is that it allows you to create documents and presentations. Okay, you can make use of Google Docs, to create your documents as well as your presentations, and Google Sheets as well, right? To create your documents and presentations. You equally have a chance to record, analyze, and present data. Okay, there are tools that have been developed by Google to make sure that you can easily record, analyze, and present data. And another core functionality is the fact that you get to brainstorm ideas, manage projects, and store files. Okay, Google Drive can help you store as many files as you possibly can so that you're not losing out on any information or data. Okay, and you equally have a chance to brainstorm ideas and share these ideas using Jamboard. You can equally use Keep, okay, to have notes, make sticker notes, and all of that to keep track of the work that you're doing. So it basically helps you keep things organized. Okay, and the last thing is that Google Workspace allows you to communicate globally. Okay, in today's age, remote work is increasingly becoming a thing. Okay, so from anywhere you have a team member, from anywhere that they are, as long as they have a device or internet connection, you people can communicate about any projects that you have going on within your business or within your company. So these are the main things that Google Workspace helps you to achieve. All right. So let's go on to look at some of the tools that I had earlier listed and mentioned. All right, we're going to be starting with Google Docs and slides. So with Google Docs, it helps you to basically create documents and presentations. Okay, and when you create these documents and presentations, you can easily bring other people into the you can easily share these files, okay, without always having to write, kindly find, attach this, that to your emails. Okay, when you're using Gmail, for example, you can easily now just share any documents that you have created, any documents that you have made, and people can easily, those that you've shared the document with, can quickly have access to it and make any modifications that need to be done to it. So with Google Docs and with Google Slides, you have a chance to create documents and to equally create your presentations. All right. So Google Docs and Slides is there to help you when it comes to drafting your documents and your presentations. Okay. All right. So let's carry on. I hope that's clear. I hope we understand. So when we're going to move on to Google Forms and Sheets. All right. So with Google Forms and Sheets, you have a chance to record, analyze, and present data. So this has a lot to do with statistics. All right. When you're trying to, record information that you have, insights, and all of that. Google Forms and Sheets is a great way to record that information, to make an analysis, and to equally, present your data, whatever chat you're using. You can make use of Google Sheets to do that. And with forms, it's a very quick way, to share forms that maybe quickly need to be filled. For example, if you follow our trainings here, you realize that in the chat box we regularly drop links, okay, in case you need maybe one-on-one mentoring, like, which is available in case you're, constantly logging onto our sessions. You realize that we always talk to you about a one-on-one mentoring that Google offers in case you want to learn more about how you can make use of Google products to work for your business in general. So usually when we drop those links, you'll see a form there. Okay, so that form, that's basically a form that is very quick to fill, and it allows us to collect data from you, okay, as to those who are interested in mentoring. So forms and sheets are a very quick way to easily obtain information about a particular project that has to do with the any project that your team is working on. And once this information is collected, it's very easy to now record and analyze it or present it using forms and sheets. All right. So I hope it's clear. I hope you are understanding as I'm moving on. Okay. In case I'm too fast, kindly draw my attention to it. All right. Okay, so if that's understood, let's have a look at some of the benefits that you enjoy if you're using Google Workspace. In case you're already using Google Workspace, kindly let me know how that has been helpful for you, all right? Drop everything in the chat box. I want to read from you. Okay, so let's take a look at the benefits that come with using Google Workspace. So when you implement Google Workspace in your business, you have a chance at enjoying increased collaboration. Okay, there is increased collaboration. People can easily, come in and tell you, collaborate with you on any projects that you're working on, okay, using the tools, some of the tools that I had already listed and which we have already talked about. And then we equally have improved communication. You can make use of tools like Gmail, to communicate, to send your emails and all of that. So Google Workspace helps to improve communication across businesses. And then we equally have smarter working. And, times have evolved. Smart working is more beneficial than hard work, okay? It's better to work smart than to work hard, all right? So there's a smarter way to work, when you're using Google Workspace, because a lot has already been simplified in such a way that you tend to save time in completing some of your tasks. Okay, we're going to look at that. We're going to break all this down as we proceed, talking about all the Google tools that are available. But you get to really save a lot of time, when working with any of these Google tools. So it helps you to work smart instead of working hard, all right? And there is enhanced security. When you use any of these Google tools in your workspace, there is no way that somebody who is not part of your team or part of your business will have access to your confidential information, because all this is kept safe. All right, you have two-step verifications, you have a lot of measures that Google has put in place to ensure that your messages stay encrypted and they stay secure. All right, so you don't fear that somebody could intrude on whatever plans or projects you're working on with your teammates. All right, so these are the benefits that come with using Google Workspace. So it's very important for you to integrate these for your businesses and whatever projects you may have. If you have any teams working on any projects, it's very easy for you to manage collaboration, communication, work smarter, and keep things secure when you are using Google Workspace. Okay, I hope that's clear, all right? Now, so let's take a look at the first benefit which we mentioned, which is increased collaboration. So with Google Workspace, most of them, in fact, all the information that you push share when you use any of these tools is stored in a cloud format, okay? So it enables you to share documents and files with ease. It's very easy for you to do that. And you can also track changes, comment with ideas, and work with colleagues across several projects, because you realize that if you have a document, for example, you use Google Doc to create a document which you share, it's easy to track any changes that other team members are making on that document, so that you don't have one person making a change, forwarding the document to another person to make a change, forward, and just like that. Everybody has a chance, if they've been given access to that document, to make changes to that document. So you see that it saves time, right? And it helps you to implement the changes that you want faster. And you can equally track those changes. You can track who made this change, to this document, this particular editing that was done on the document, who did it, compared to if you have to, share a document from one person to the other. You don't even know who made a change, where, and when, okay? But when you're using Google Workspace, you have that possibility to easily share documents with our files with ease, with your colleagues, and track the changes that have been made, or any ideas, any contributions that have come in from your colleagues regarding that document. So it increases collaboration. So the next benefit we looked at was communication, that implementing Google Workspace improves communication. So let's take a look at how that is possible. So with Google Workspace, you can easily, harness key tools to maintain and improve levels of communication across your business. Okay, you have communication tools that have been made available. You have Gmail, you have Google Meet, for conference, for video conferencing. You have Google Current, you have Google Chat. All these are communication tools that you can make use of to make sure that communication flows easily among every member of your team. What everybody is currently working on, the inputs they are bringing, how far a project has gone, because you people have all these tools made available to communicate. Okay, it's going to be cumbersome if you people are working remotely, for example, and you probably have to depend maybe strictly on phone calls. What if this person is not, in a place that has a good network and all of that? It's not going to be easy sometimes to access them. But when you're using Gmail, Google Meet, Google Current, and Google Chat, this person has a chance, to catch up with what has been done. But every time if they get a chance, if they are not connected at that moment, for example, and they now have a chance to come on, they get to see what has been done so far and where they can come in and equally make their own changes. So communication within any company is very, very, very important, okay, to make sure that projects are completed on time and things are done in a very smart way. All right. So we have tools for that have been developed by Google, like Gmail, Meet, Current, and Chat, which help you to improve communication. All right. Let's take a look at the next benefit which we talked about. Remember, we have already looked at the first benefit which we had to do with improving collaboration, and then now we have talked about improving communication. So we are moving right on to look at working smarter. Okay, so with Google Workspace, you have a chance to collect, analyze, and turn data into insights with Google Workspace, and you equally have a chance to streamline your workflows and your processes. All right. Google Workspace allows you to store and manage files to communicate and collaborate, like we had earlier said, from one central system. Okay, so you're using one central system to make sure to monitor the progress of any activities that you people have going on. So it definitely saves time, like I said, because you get to work smart. If you have a document that needs changes, you don't need to be sharing that document from one person to the other for them to finish editing and forward. The next person takes on, edits and forwards. Okay, you have a central system where everybody who has been given access to that document can easily just implement any changes, add any data or any insights to the document, right? And you see that work moves on faster and is definitely smarter. All right. And the last benefit we talked about is the security of your files and your data. So with Google, like we said, everything they make use of cloud. All right. So with Google, you have a chance to store your document, your files, and your data on the cloud, okay, via Google Drive. So Google basically allows your documents to stay safe. All right. I'll take the example for I personally, I make use of Google Photos. And once I have my photos stored in my drive, I don't have to, if I lose my phone, okay, or for some reason my phone gets bad, I'm not going to be worried that I've lost all my memories. If I, buy a new device and I use the same account, the same Google account that I used on my previous device, I still have access to all my files and all the data that was in the previous phone. Okay, so everything is kept secure. So you can use admin console to centralize your administration. When it comes to your business, you can make use of admin console to centralize your administration, and you can equally manage users, restrict access to who you don't want having any access to your files. You can equally set up passwords and make use of two-step authentication, to protect your business from any security threats. So if you're making use of any Google tools, you're not going to be worried about the safety of your files, of any data that you have. Nobody can have access to it if you have not given them access. So it gives you that power to manage, your information and your privacy overall. Okay, so we have Google, the admin console, where you can make use of, just managing all your files and data and ensuring its security. So you have every reason to make use of Google tools. If you are not yet implementing it in your workspace, please don't let today end that you have not, you know gotten all these Google tools and implemented. All right, so Samson, thank you for joining from Lakoja. Oh, thank you. We're more than happy to have you. Welcome, Karine. Always a pleasure to see you here. Oh, it's I'm happy to see all of you joining in. So, in case you, for anything you may have missed out on, we talked about Google Workspace, which we went on to, discover what Google Workspace is all about, the different tools that have been made available from Google, for you to have to easily work with your teammates, okay, in your business. And we're now looking at the different benefits of implementing Google Workspace in your business. We talked about improved collaboration, improved communication. We talked about working smart, and we talked about the security that comes with using Google Workspace. So these are the four main benefits that come with using Google tools in your workplace. Okay, so I hope we at least have an idea. All right, if you missed out, don't forget to you can always rewatch this video to make sure that you have not lost any valuable information. All right, so we're going to proceed. Okay, let's take a look at how you can now create your Google Workspace account. So the first thing is that you need to click on the link workspace.google.com/sign-up/business start. Chika is going to drop the link in the chat box right there to make it easier for you. And remember to click on all links when the session is coming to an end, okay, so that you don't miss out on anything we are discussing. So in order to get set up on your Google Workspace, you need an account. You need to create an account. The first thing you do is you go to workspace.google.com/sign-up/business starter. And then the next thing you proceed to do is to input your business name. Which business are you? What's the name of your business? You put the name right there. And then you move on to add your contact details. How can people get to you? You know, what are the contact details of your business, basically? And then you can go on to the next step, which is to choose your domain. It's important for you to choose a domain, okay? You already have a website, put in your domain name right there. And then you now update your business address. Okay, when you have a domain name, it's easy for you to now have an email address that has been customized, you know, using your domain name. Even it remains a Google email, okay, but it's just customized for your business, because to give it a more professional look, all right. And then step 6 is to set up your login details. Once you have created your account, you know, the account is already existing. You now use your login details to log into your account, and that's it's as simple as that. Really very simple 6-step process that you can go through, and you have an account on Google Workspace. Okay, so let's take a look at how to get set up on Google Workspace. Once you've already created your account, right? You have logged into that account. What do you do once you're already there? So the first thing is to create your business email. Like we said, once you're making use of Google Workspace, you can customize your email so that it doesn't end with gmail.com. Okay, it can end with your domain name. Okay, so the first thing is that you're going to create your business email once you're on Google Workspace, and then you proceed to add team members and users. Who are your team members? Who are the people you're collaborating with, you know, on your project? Add them, you know, to your Google Workspace, and then you now proceed to migrate your data and import files, bring in the necessary data and files that you need to get work started. Okay, so this is what you need to do once you are logged into your Google Workspace account that you have already created. Create your business email, add team members and users, and then migrate your data and import files. All right. So, is there anything we didn't grasp? Kindly draw my attention to it. If you have any concerns or questions, please ask. I want to read from you. Even if it's not a question, you just have, you know, an opinion, a contribution as to your experience using Google Workspace. Kindly let me know how that is working out for you. All right. I want to see them in the chat box. How do we have any questions? In any case, please, I want to read from you. Are we there? Samson. I'm going to be calling you out one by one. If we are there, please, I want to know what your questions are, what your concerns are, or what your contributions are. All right. Kindly drop in the chat box. But I'm going to be continuing, okay, so we don't run out of time. But I will come back to all of them. I'll subsequently come back to all of them. But if I don't see it right away, like I already said, and I'll keep saying, Chika is right there. She's going to take care of any concerns that you have. Okay, so we will proceed to the second part of our agenda, which is we're going to be looking at how you can boost communication across your business. We're going to look at how you can boost communication across your business. Effective communication is important even in our daily, you know, transactions with people. So what more of your business? It's important for communication to flow easily, okay? And Google Workspace can help you boost the communication, all right, to make it better, to make it easier, okay? So let's take a look at how you can boost communication across your business. But before we get into it, I would like to equally ask you again, you know, I want to know from you, which tools can you use via Google Workspace to boost communication? Are there any? If we were following from the beginning, I mentioned some tools that we can use to improve communication across Google Workspace, across our workspaces. What are those tools that I mentioned for those who are following up? Karen, are you there? Wow, all where are all the people who are watching? Those who are here with us. What are the tools that you can use via Google Workspace to boost communication? What are the communication tools that Google has made available to ensure that communication runs smoothly in your business? Do we know any? Kindly drop in the chat box, please. Drop, drop, drop. I'm waiting to see. Okay, so kindly drop your answers in the chat box. I'm going to be looking out for them. Okay. All right. So the key communication tools that have that Google has developed and made available to enhance communication across businesses or across teams, you have Gmail, you have Google Meet, you have Current, and we have Chat. Okay, these are major communication tools that can help you communicate with all the members of your team, of your business, making sure that you people are up to date as to what you people are working on. Okay, so we're going to look at all of them one after the other. All right, we're going to start with Gmail. Okay, so with Gmail, I believe a lot of us are already using Gmail. Okay, because from the moment you get your smartphone, for you to even use WhatsApp, you need an email right there, right? And a lot of us, I'm sure, are already have email addresses with Gmail. So I believe a lot of us have already used Gmail. So with Gmail, you have a chance to, it's a free tool. It's a free email tool. Doesn't charge you anything to use Gmail. Okay. So you with Gmail, you have a chance to send files. You can equally create groups, mailing lists, and access the integrated calendar in order to stay connected and up to date. Okay. So with Gmail, you can easily, schedule meetings as well, program meetings on calendar, using and send them out as emails to your team, and it's going to be right there. All these have all been integrated. We have calendar right there on Gmail. We have Meet as well. So in case you have a meeting with any of your team members, you just need to schedule, a calendar invite. They get and send it by email. They are going to get this email, and then the link is right there to the meeting, and calendar is constantly there to keep your team members reminded of any meeting so that you don't miss out on any things that need to be discussed. So Gmail is a very practical way to communicate, okay, in your business. It's very, very important. You can equally create, a mailing list. Okay, you have all your partners there, your team members right there, in such a way that when you're sending out a mail, you don't have to constantly be putting in email addresses and all of that. The mailing list is there. You just select who you want to send the email to. So it's very easy to use, and it has been adapted to make your communication across your business very simple. Okay, so I don't know of anybody who is not using Gmail in this current time. If you're using it for personal reasons and you are a business person, then it's time to think about incorporating Gmail for communication activities for your business. It's very, very important. And with emails, they are always there. It's backed up. You have security. Nobody can have access to any emails you're sending from one team member to the other. And when you share files or documents, they are always there. You're not worried about losing any device or anything, because at any time, once you get connected with a new device on Gmail, you can still keep up with what you have been doing with your team. The files and everything is right there if you put exchanged it on Gmail. So it's there. You have every reason to make use of Gmail for communication. All right, and we'll move on to Meet. So with Google Meet allows you to keep your team connected, and you will have a chance to make use of video conferencing, okay, and very high quality video conferencing. So you can use Google Meet for your meetings, especially when you need to discuss, when you need to equally share presentations, okay, or as to any projects that you have been doing. So you can have your meeting and equally present, share your screen and present a file or a document that you have been working on. So, and it's a very secure infrastructure that Google has put in place. You're not worried. Nobody can have access to this meeting unless they have been given access, like every other Google tool, right? So there is security. And another thing is that Meet is included within Google Workspace and G Suite for education. So it is a very important tool when we want to communicate for business purposes or for whatever reason. Okay, it's a good way to communicate with the team is and make use of video conferencing, features. Okay, so Google Meet, like we said, is has been made in such a way that when a calendar invite is scheduled, the link to a Google Meet to a meeting is right there. Okay, so all you need to do is go to that email that you received about a meeting that was scheduled on your calendar. The link for the meeting is right there. You just tap on it and you're on Google Meet, okay, with all your team members discussing on your project. So it's very easy, to integrate one tool with the other to facilitate communication among your team members. Okay, so if that's understood, let's proceed on to current. So we have already seen Gmail, we have already seen Meet, and now we are talking on currents. Okay, so when it comes to currents, what does current do? Current allows you to engage with your employees. And it equally allows you to enhance, to create room for meaningful conversations, and keep you people connected. People are constantly conversing on any projects, any reports maybe that need to be sent in, deadlines approaching and all of that. So current is a great platform for you to for all the employees to come together and engage, talk about engage in meaningful conversations that have to do with work. And you can equally use currents to bring your employees on board so that people can work towards a common goal, and you can also build a whole community. All right, you have a whole community of your employees right there, making sure that you people can communicate your ideas and you can just get feedback instantly, from what another employee or from what another team member is saying regarding something that you are working on. So currents gives you a chance, as a business owner, to create a platform for your employees to all come together and engage, talk about ongoing projects and any work related discussions. Current is there to facilitate that communication. All right. Okay, so we have talked again about we started with Gmail, we moved on to Meet, we've talked about currents, and now we are going to look at chats. Okay, from the name itself, chats. I think we understand chats. Okay, so with Google Chat, you have a chance, as an employer, to create a platform. A lot of us are already making use of chat applications one way or the other, even if it's not Google Chat. So talking about Google Chat is not something that should sound so unfamiliar to us, because it works similarly to other maybe chat applications that you might be using. Okay, WhatsApp, you a lot of people are using WhatsApp to chat. So basically, you're using Google Chat for the same thing, but this time for business related discussions. Okay, and you now have with Google Chat, you have a chance, employees have that chance to send direct messages, or group messages. Okay, and it can equally help you to build, a team so that communication can flow easily, within your team from anywhere that anybody is joining. It's very easy for you people to chat, you can create a group where you put chat on the same group, or you can send a direct message from one employee or from one team member to the other. Okay, and like we said, like every other Google tool, it is highly secure, encrypted. You have no chance. You're not afraid that anybody could be intruding um, on any sensitive information, maybe that has to do with a file you're sharing or a task or anything, any information you're sharing. You're not worried that somebody could intrude. And the same thing applies for Google Meet. There is an encryption, for your video conferencing. Okay, nobody can have access to anything you are doing unless permission is granted. Okay, so you have no worries when it comes to the security of communication, of information. Sorry, you have no issues that have to do with intrusions, a breach of privacy and all of that. So using any Google tool assures you of security, conversation, prompt feedback, and an easier way of, time saving way to make sure that you people are exchanging ideas and improving on any projects that you have. All right. So I hope we've understood how we can make use of Google Workspace communication, work smarter, and ensure security. And we have looked at the communication tools. We've talked about Gmail, we've talked about Google Meets, we've talked about Current, and now we've talked about Chat. So all these tools are at your disposal to ensure free flow of communication, text messages, video conferencing, sharing of files and presentations. All of that are available with these communication tools. Okay, so let's take a look at I would like to give you some tips which you can make use of in order to maximize your communication. So the first tip is to recreate in-person communication. In-person communication is very, very important. It doesn't make sense that you have a business and the management is so top that that employees never get a chance to communicate with the people in top management. All right. So with when you implement Google Workspace for your business, you can maximize communication. It gives room to, have in-person communication. So one, a tip to maximize your communication is to recreate in-person communication. Very important. The second tip is stay organized. Stay organized. You have Google tools right there to keep your work organized, remind you of any meetings, so that you're not showing up late. The link is right there. If it's a meeting on Google Meet, it's incorporated right there in your Gmail. You once you get the email, so it basically keeps you organized as to what your tasks are and what you should be doing and when you should be doing it. And another tip to maximize your communication is to create a team mailing list. Create a team mailing list so that it's very easy for you to send out messages to employees, to people that you need feedback, maybe for a document that you're sharing with them. You need them to make changes and all of that. So when you have a mailing list, it helps you to save time and also, just stay organized, like we had equally mentioned. And the last tip that you can make use of to maximize your communication is to set up a project or a team's room. Set up a project or a team's room. In any case, I'm just brushing over this, okay? We're going to take a closer look at this, all right? So, the first thing that we'll take a look at is recreate in-person communication. That's the first tip. So, if you want to recreate in-person communication, this is what you need to do. The first thing is to schedule regular team calls and check-ins via Google Meet and Hangouts. Okay, you can regularly schedule team calls and check-ins, to keep up with what everybody is doing, making sure that your project is moving forward. And you can schedule these team calls via Google Meet or Hangouts. The next thing you can do to recreate in-person communication is to connect with colleagues and teams across the globe. It's very important for you to constantly connect with colleagues, and your team bond, get to know who these people are. Very important. Doesn't make sense to work with people that you don't know who is working in what department, what is their role in that. So implementing Google Workspace for communication allows you to connect with your colleagues and your teams wherever they are located. Another thing is you get to brainstorm ideas, work on team projects, and hold virtual events. Like we said, remote work is increasing as time goes by. So using these tools would allow you to recreate in person communication. And when once this communication is flowing, you get a chance to brainstorm on ideas, work on team projects, and also hold virtual events. And the last thing is that you can join from mobile and desktop devices, so it's very easy for anybody to get connected, on any meetings, any virtual events, and get work done or exchange ideas basically. So it helps you. Recreating in-person communication is very important, and this is how you can go about it. And like, as apart from remote work increasingly becoming common, we have COVID that has changed a lot of things. So sometimes even when you cannot meet physically with your team members, it's important to recreate in-person communication. And you have the Google tools made available for you to do all that. All right. So we move on to the next tip. The next tip we talked about was staying organized. Staying organized. So the what can and I had mentioned calendar. Okay, so calendar can help you to stay organized because it helps you keep track of everything that you need to get done. Where do I need to be? What do I have to be doing? So you can improve communication across teams using calendar, and you can create multiple calendars, to make sure that you're keeping track with meetings and training sessions and whatever projects you have as a business or as a company. All right, so calendar is there to help you keep track of what you need to be doing and when, and it constantly reminds team members, okay, so that they don't forget any activities that they need to be doing. The third thing is that you need to create a team mailing list. Okay, so to create a team mailing list, you need to create a Google Groups email list. All right. Once you have you're on Gmail, you have a chance to create a group. Okay. So you can create a Google Groups email list. These are people that you'll constantly be sending emails out to, so that when you have an email that you need to send out, you don't constantly have to be looking for email addresses to be sending them to. You have a group there, an email list there. You just pick those that need to receive the email. And the next thing is send status updates. Okay, you constantly need to keep the team informed as to what is going on. Send status updates. And you equally have a chance to share resources. We had talked about, sharing presentations, files, with documents and all of that. It's very, very possible for you to use these communication tools like Gmail to share any resources. And the last thing is increase visibility. There is increased visibility, and you equally foster community interactions as a business. Okay, so these communication tools allow give room for increased visibility and equally foster community relationships. Very, very important for any business. Okay, and then the last tip to maximize your communication is to set up project or team rooms. Set up project or team rooms. So when it comes to setting up projects or team rooms, it's going to help your team members to stay connected, okay, in a Google chat, via Gmail, for example. So they can constantly stay connected and share whatever ideas or contributions that they may have. All right. And it equally encourages your team members to network with each other, like we said, exchange of ideas on best practices on what to do regarding any project, so that that work is moving on smoothly. So it's important to set up a project or set up a team's room. If you have a company, you have for a particular project, there can be a team room for the finance team, okay, where they exchange ideas and talk about finance related issues for that project. We have a content team as well, okay? So it's important to keep them organized and maximize communication. Are there any questions for me? Please drop them, drop them. I want to see your questions. Okay, I'm going to be moving a little bit faster, since I wouldn't want us to run out of time without covering everything that we need to talk about. So please, if you have any questions, kindly drop them. I'm going to be looking out for them once the session is over. So the last thing we're going to look at is how you can leverage tools to increase collaboration. How you can leverage tools to increase collaboration. So are there any tools that, which tools can you use on Google Space to increase collaboration? This question should already be familiar to you, okay? Because we have mentioned some of these tools that you can use to increase collaboration as well as communication, okay? So if you were following, please drop in the chat box which tools can you use on Google Workspace to increase collaboration. So when it comes to collaborating, you may have all these projects, that concerning different teams that you need to each collaborate and contribute to, so that the project can move faster. So collaboration helps you basically to it allows you, these tools give room for you to brainstorm ideas as a team. You get to brainstorm ideas, you get to share working files, through maybe by email. For example, if you have a document that you've created on Google Doc, you can easily share via email once you have a mailing list and all of that. So you can brainstorm ideas, share working files, you can make suggestions and tag colleagues, to those suggestions, and you can track changes like we have already said. You can make suggestions as to what you want to be implemented. Maybe something wasn't properly done, and you can track changes, any changes that are made to a particular file or document once you have shared it to the team. Okay, so let's take a look at the tools that you can make use of when you're collaborating. We have Jamboard. Okay, so Jamboard is like a whiteboard, like the board you have in your office, where you put important information there, demonstrating anything that needs to be done. But Jamboard, it's not a physical board, it's there available to use virtually. Okay, so Jamboard allows you to harness the power of digital whiteboards, like I had just said, and you can share ideas and improve on brainstorming. If you have any ideas regarding a project, you can put it on the board for all your team members to see and brainstorm on. So Jamboard is connected to cloud, and it enables people in different locations to work together through multiple touch points. So basically, if you have an idea, you can pin it on the board, and other people can equally come and put in ideas on that board, write what they think can contribute to a particular project. So it gives room for you to brainstorm and share ideas. So it improves collaboration among your team members. Okay, so apart from Jamboard, we equally have Google Drive. I'm sure a lot of us are already making use of Google Drive. Google Drive gives you large storage. Okay, when we think about Google Drive, we think about storage for all our pictures and documents and everything. So Google Drive allows you to store files on the cloud via Google Drive. Okay, you can store files on the cloud via Google Drive, and it equally enables you to share working documents and presentations, and sheets and all of that. You can share files, any presentations that you're working on with your team. Okay, and people can easily collaborate and work on one central file. Okay, and you can monitor those changes that they are making. So once that document is there in Google Drive, and people have access, you give access to particular people to work on that document, they can easily work on one document, like we had previously said, instead of working on one document and forwarding to another person to edit and forward. Everybody has a chance to work on the same document, and you can track those changes that are being made. So it makes collaborating much easier and gets work done faster. So basically, you can equally make suggestions and tag colleagues. Okay, so when you're sharing any documents that need to be, edited and all of that, you can tag colleagues. You just need to at them. Okay, use the at and write their name right there, the name that they have on their Google Workspace. So this is going to draw their attention to any files that they have suggested, that you have shared, sorry. And they can make suggestions, implement any changes. It's going to enhance collaboration basically on any project that you people are working on. So it saves time a lot. Okay, and you equally have a chance to track changes, like we had previously said. Anybody who is working on the file, from the central, from Google Drive, you can easily see who made a change and what that change is. Okay, compared to when you are forwarding from one person to the other, you don't know what a change that was made to the document and by who. For example, if I send an application letter, a partnership letter that I'm working on to a colleague, they can work on it, send to another person. About 4 different people work on it before it gets back to me. So how do I know that this particular paragraph was edited by so and so person? So but with when you're using Google Workspace and everything is managed from a central point, it is easy for you to see who is making what changes and what that change exactly is. All right, and you have the possibility to give access to that file to particular people and equally restrict access. So basically, it's easy for you to manage how documents are handled, how any projects or presentations are being handled from one central point. So definitely makes things easier, saves time because it's a much smarter way to work. And you can actually complete projects before their deadline, getting everybody to work on the same document and track those changes. So it's really a very effective way to collaborate and communicate. And while you are going about all this, you have that assurance that everything that you people are doing is secure. No other person has access unless you have given them access, and you have a chance to equally restrict access if at all you gave access and let's say this person is no longer working for you can restrict, you can take back that access you gave to this person. All right, so they don't have they even if they are no longer working for you, they can no longer access any information that your business is sharing. Okay, so Google Workspace is more than important in today's current age. Like we said, remote work is gaining, more visibility. COVID, a lot of things are changing. So it's important for us to see how we can work effectively virtually. All right, and Google Workspace is ideal. All right, are there any questions for me? If there are, drop them. All right, kindly drop your questions. I'm going to be answering all of them. Okay, so what are your next steps? All right, in case if you want to take this to the next step, and you want to learn more as to how you can implement Google Workspace for your business, kindly go to all the platforms where you can access these resources. Karen is sorry, Karen, I'm already calling your name because you have been so frequent. I'm so used to calling your name. Okay, so Chika is going to be dropping the links as to where you can get more information as to how you can implement Google Workspaces. So you can go to learndigital.withgoogle.com/digital skills/courses, all right, in case you want to learn more about all these Google tools and how you can use them. And you can equally go to social media, all right. On Facebook, you can simply search Digital Skills for Africa. You just type facebook.com/digital skills for Africa, or you can go to Twitter, twitter.com/digital skills AF. And on Instagram, you simply type instagram.com/digital skills AF, and you're going to, be connected with everything you need to know about how you can use Google Workspace for your business. Thank you very much for joining in today's session. And remember, you can equally join Impact Her. Impact High is equally available on Facebook. We're equally present, okay, on Facebook and on Instagram as well as LinkedIn. Just go searching for Impact High. You're going to see us right there, or you can equally go to our website, impacthigh.org, and connect with us, okay? We would like to equally know from you how you have been implementing all this knowledge that you've been getting, which Google has made accessible to, to all of us, all right, for free, all for free. So equally connect with Impact Her on our social media platforms and let us know how implementing Google Workspace for your business is working for you. We really want to know how that is going on. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you are constantly in the loop as to upcoming trainings that we have, okay? You don't want to miss out on any valuable information that could help your business work better, okay? So don't forget to subscribe to the channel. This is goodbye for now. So I hope you take great care of yourselves, and until our next session, bye-bye. Bye-bye.